Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tool review is going to be a product by SeeSii, or that's how I'm going to pronounce it in this video. It could be SeeSii, but I know the majority of people who I've watched their videos on maybe a different product of theirs, they've been calling it SeeSii, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, back in my Milwaukee half-inch impact socket video at the very end, I mentioned that this company had contacted me and said, hey, would you like to try out our newer impact and see what you think about it? And I was kind of iffy about it, but there was a few reasons why I kind of was curious to get it. That's why I asked you guys if you'd be interested in seeing it. So one of the reasons why I went ahead and got it was because a few of you said, you know, let's go ahead and give it a go. Let's see what it's made of. Things like that. I know some of you probably don't care, but I'm going to go ahead and get it for that reason because some of you did want to see it. The second thing is I don't have a high torque of any kind whatsoever. It's not a tool that I generally use in my line of work. I'm not an automotive person or anything like that, but occasionally working on my own stuff, you know, in my house or on my own cars or, you know, lawnmowers or whatever it is. Maybe there's some times where the only tool that I have that's kind of in this realm is the M12 Stubby. It kind of is right at that cusp of not being able to do it. Maybe I'd need something bigger, but it's not something where I need one enough that I'm going to pay the price that they want for a Milwaukee high torque or something like that. So that's another reason why I kind of want to get one. It's going to be at my house. If I need one, I'm going to have one. And then the third thing is I remembered from watching the Torque Test channel that the SeeSii brand of Amazon drills seemed to be the best performing ones out of all of them whenever they were doing their testing and things like that. It even performed kind of in the range of some of the middle, you know, bigger name brands that you and I may know. It was kind of right on par with those. So I thought, well, if I can get one of the better ones on Amazon, maybe I should give it a try. Go ahead and give it a go. Now, this video is going to be nothing like a torque test channel video because I don't have anything else to compare this to. And then I also just don't have, you know, any of that kind of equipment or anything like that. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go over its features and the specs of it and things like that, show you what you get if you were to purchase this thing. And I'm also going to remove some lug nuts with it. And then I've got an old 2-inch trailer ball hitch where that ball has never been removed. It's rusted on there pretty good. That's going to use my biggest socket that I have. We'll see if it will take it off and see how easy it does that. But that's kind of the idea where I'm going with this. But let's go ahead and get into what all you get with this SeeSii. So again, this is the WH750. They're calling this their flagship model. It's their newest impact at the moment. It's a brushless motor, 21 volt. Everything that I'm going to show you comes inside this blow mold case. And for the price and what it claims that it will do, it might be something that you might be interested in. It just really depends on how much you would use a tool like this. And if you're someone who uses one 100% all day long, I can't speak to the longevity of this or how long the battery is going to last you over the course of years and things like that. I have no idea because this is a new tool to me. But for what it claims and at its price tag, because its price tag is $170, and right now they have a $40 off coupon, so if that's going all the time, $130 is going to get you everything that I'm about to show you, and I just don't think you're ever going to get a big name brand price for that. So again, someone like me who doesn't use a tool like this all that often, I can't warrant to spend the money on the Milwaukee, even though I like to stay in that same battery platform. Maybe this is something that's going to kind of pique your interest. So again, they say it's their flagship. It's got the brushless motor, most power, most compact. It's 6 3/4 inches from here to here, and then it's 11 inches from the top to the bottom of the battery with the battery on there. So it is fairly compact. I know these impacts are getting smaller and smaller all the time, so I don't know how that compares to maybe some of the newer versions of other ones that are out there. But then power-wise, this one has 100 newton meters or 738 foot-pounds of breakaway torque is what they claim, or 850 newton meters and 627 foot-pounds of fastening torque. So, you know, that's quite a bit. That's pretty significant. That's more than anything else that I have. Like I said, all I have is the M12 3/8 Stubby, and that only has 250 foot-pounds. So you're looking at going, you know, quite a bit more up to this. And that one, if you were to buy one with a battery just by itself, is $250. So, you know, I didn't pay that for that whenever I got it. But just to give you an idea on the price, just to get an M12 brand name Milwaukee impact, you're going to pay, you know, $100 more to $120, $130 more dollars just to get you that one, and it has nowhere near the stats of what this one does. So again, it just depends on how much you're going to use it. It also features 3 speed modes whenever you're in forward. So if I'm in forward like I am right now, you can see that these 3 lights right here light up. I can swap through those modes. I can go from 1 light to 2 light to 3 lights. And what that is it's different speed selections. Speed number 1 is 1500 impacts per minute. Speed 2 is 1800 impacts per minute. And then speed 3 is 2200. So it gives you a little bit of control to kind of keep yourself from maybe going over on some certain things. And then if I switch it to reverse, you don't get a speed selection at that point. But what it has is it has a brake stop whenever you're in reverse that you can manually turn on and off. If you can see that button right there lighting up, I don't know if you can get that red light. I'm trying to block the LED from showing it to you. So hopefully you can see that with me pushing that on and off. I'm not sure if you can. I'm not sure if I can pick that up. It does have a LED light, so that's something that most tools all come with now. They do give you a 4.0 battery, 21 volt battery. A charger's included with that. It's a fast charger. They say you can charge this battery within 2 hours. I don't know that that's extremely fast, but maybe it is for an Amazon brand tool. I did notice that it didn't seem like it took very long to charge it for that first time. The battery does have a gauge on the back of it so that you can check it. I always like it when batteries have that. That's the one downside to M12 tools to me. I always got to get my batteries out, stick them in the tool, and kind of see where they are. So you get the impact, you get a battery, charger, case. You also get some metric deep well impact sockets. You get a 17, a 19, a 21, a 22, and a 24. So you get those sizes that come along with it. This does not have like a detent pin, but what they give you is you can put those sockets on. You can see that hole goes all the way through. They give you some pins that you can slide in there if you want to go that route, and then an O-ring that you wrap around the outside of this. It's probably not something I'm ever going to do. I'm just going to put the sockets, you know, on and off and kind of hold them on there. So again, that's the bulk of what those features are. So again, at that price, $130 with that coupon, you may be looking at this and saying, you know what, that's actually not that bad of a deal. But does it really perform? That's what we're about to find out. I'm going to go ahead and take this. We'll put this in action, see if it'll take the lug nuts off my truck. I'm sure it will have no problem doing that. And then we'll check it on that trailer hitch ball that I've never taken off before in my life. It's been on there for years. Rusted nice and good, so we'll see how well that works with that as well. All right, guys, we're going to check this out on some lug nuts. Maybe this would be the standard thing that you would use something like this for. Again, this one might even be overkill for that. I'm going to show you first with my M12 3/8 Stubby. Got that 21 millimeter socket on there. I'm going to use their socket with that since that's a size that I do get, that you will get with this brand here with the SeeSii. Start out with the reverse on the M12 Stubby. Takes that off very simply. You know, it's never been a problem for me. Always been amazed at the power that you get out of this little guy right here. Maybe you were just curious how well this works. Just to give you that on that deal as well. I'm just going to kind of put that kind of tight back on there. I'm going to torque these back down with a torque wrench. I don't normally just hammer away with an impact on my lug nuts. So now let's go over to the SeeSii. I'm going to start out. Let's put it in reverse. I'm also going to put on that auto braking. So we'll see what that does as well. It should stop once it senses that the lug nut has been broken free. I'm going to keep my finger on the trigger. We're going to see what that does. So moving down to this one. Broke it easily free, and it did stop. So let me show you how that works. So this is the auto stop. You can see if I'm going to hold my trigger down with my finger, it breaks. Unless I let go of the trigger again, it's going to stop. Versus if I turn that mode off, let me take that out so I don't throw it. it runs continually. So basically it's finding out that you've broke something free to keep you from just pulling this out and throwing this across the shop. I think that's kind of a nice feature. You guys let me know in the comments below. Again, who are people who use these day in and day out? Is that kind of a standard feature, you know, that you're going to get on most things, or is that something that's kind of neat? I'm going to put it back and forward. I'm going to go ahead and torque those down to the recommended setting with the torque wrench, but let's go ahead and see how this SeeSii performs with those trailer hitch balls that I have with an 1.5 inch socket. See how well it works with that. Okay, so I've got 2 hitches. This one's fairly new. I've actually gotten this nut off before, and it's not been a big deal for me to get it on and off, so we're going to go ahead and start with that one and do this. And then I've got this one that's my 2-inch ball. I have probably had this since I started driving a truck. It's never been off. Rusted on there pretty good. I've tried to get this off before by hand. Was never able to do it, so we're going to see if the SeeSii will get that one off. We'll try it out and see, but let's start out with this one first. I have my 1.5 inch Milwaukee socket. It's the biggest socket that I have. And then we'll show you here 4 bars. So let's start out by trying to take off this one, see what it does. Loosen that one up, no problem. I'm going to put it back and forward now. We'll see if we can tighten it up. Got that back on there. So that one broke free pretty easy, but again, I've had this one off before. I don't know what kind of a test that would truly be, but now let's try it on the thing that I've never been able to get off a single time with no matter what method I've tried. So here's the rusty one. Again, same size socket, still 4 bars. Just basically just swapped it out in here, however long that took me to do that. We're going to get it on there. I've got it in forward still. We'll swap it to reverse. I don't think it's going to get it. You know, no matter how much I try, that's starting to get pretty hot right there. Didn't feel like it. Did look like my socket was moving around, but I don't think it was actually loosening this up any. So it's not going to do that. But again, I don't know what kind of force it would actually take to get this off. You guys let us know in the comments below if you've got other high torques and this is something you've done and it just takes it off with ease. Again, this has been on here for its whole life, out in the weather, out in the elements. I don't know if it would be normal because, again, I'm not a high torque person. You guys let us know in the comments below, but it just doesn't seem like to me it's going to get that off. I'm going to try it one more time. Last go at it. It did finally break it loose. I don't have enough here to hold it into place, so it will get to it. It eventually did break that loose. You can see how much separation I have right there. So if I had this being held on by something tight, I believe it would take it the rest of the way off. So there you go, guys. That's the SeeSii WH750 1/2 inch high torque. It's their newer model, brushless, more compact, Comes with that 4.0 amp hour battery. Still has 4 bars after all that I just put it through right there. Again, that wasn't a whole awful lot, but just to give you kind of an idea on that. And again, for the price, I think that's where it just depends on how much you're going to use one, if it's worth it to you to buy one in your own battery platform, all those things. That's only questions that you can answer. You know, me personally, if I was going to buy me a high torque, I would probably lean towards something like this for my own self, just because I'm not going to use it that often. Again, I don't know that I would have bought this had they not sent it to me, because I would have figured out some other way to get off things at different times instead of even probably buying a tool like this. But for $130, to have it in your garage, the time that you might need it, a time or two, I didn't think that it was ever going to get that, but it did break it loose. And I have a feeling if I had this like in my truck hitch or something like that, I could have probably got it to spin all the way out, or if I put something on top of here, that started to loosen up. You know, and I just didn't have anything at the moment to kind of grab a hold of that and hold it as a one-person operation without going to a great ordeal. But did it break it loose? Yes. I didn't think it was actually going to as I was doing it. Gave it that final pass and didn't have any problems with my 2 5/16 ball because it was a newer thing. But again, you get the sockets, the case, the charger, the battery, the impact. $130. You guys let me know in the comments below if you think that it might be well worth it for some people out there. If you've got some other SeeSii impacts and you've had them for quite some time, because again, this is a newer version, but maybe how well their older ones hold up, maybe that would help you speak to longevity more so. Or if you've had this one, I don't know how long it's been out for. If you've got it and you've been using it a whole lot more often than me, let us know in the comments below what you think about it, how well it's been working out for you. But again, I hope this was useful in some ways. Thank you, SeeSii, for sending this out to me. But you guys stay safe, have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.